Hi, Aditi. We have a new story buddy today. Her name is Cassidy, and Grandpa's going to read her books to you. So the first book is Cassidy and the Rainy River Rescue. Are you ready for a story?
I'm ready for you to read me my story, y'all.
Hi, Aditi. It was late afternoon on Curly Q Ranch. The day was winding down. Shadows were getting as long as a rattlesnake's necktie, and the cowboys were bringing in the herd. Cassidy looked up when she heard them singing. It was such a good old song. Cassidy had a hankering to join in. Cassidy's friend Ranger saw her and trotted over. "Howdy, Ranger," said Cassidy. "You look thirsty. How about a race to the watering hole?" Ranger grinned like a coyote and took off running. "You're on," he shouted. "Giddy up, Cassidy." Even with a head start, Ranger was no match for Cassidy. She reached the watering hole in a flash and had time for a long drink before he caught up. Out of breath, Ranger said, "You win again." But there's more to ranch life than being fast. Cassidy just smiled and nuzzled a duckling swimming by. She sure loved little critters almost as much as she loved running. Just then, Cassidy heard someone calling her. "Cassidy, where are you?"
Be there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Sure enough, Cassidy's girl was waiting for her with an apple. Cassidy's legs shook with happiness. This was the best part of her day. The girl led Cassidy into the barn and took her time grooming and feeding her pony. A few times the girl shook her head and asked Cassidy how she got so tangled and dusty. But she always asked with a smile. And before the girl left, she hugged Cassidy and said, "You're the best pony ever." Cassidy was settling down for the evening when she heard a ruckus outside. There was a crash of thunder, then the thunder of hooves. Next thing she knew, Ranger was at her door. "Cows got spooked and busted out," he said. We could use your help rounding them up. Just promise me you'll use good horse sense."
You bet your horseshoes I will.
Thunder boomed again as Ranger and Cassidy raced outside. Cattle were running every which way. The cowboys were doing their best to round them up, but there were a lot. Ranger took off running. Cassidy reckoned it was time she got to work too. This was going to be more fun than a barrel of horned toads.
Yee-haw!
Cassidy ran up to a white cow and said, "Howdy, time to head on back to the herd now." But the white cow just mooed and kept running. Then a cowboy rode by on his big black horse. He snorted and said, "No, you got it all wrong, little pony. You've got to show cows who's the boss, like this." The black horse galloped ahead. It caught up to the white cow and bumped it back to the herd. Cassidy wasn't happy about that.
It's got me mighty troubled, all right.
Cassidy tried again. Quick as lightning, she galloped to a spotted cow. She called the cow ma'am and asked her pretty please to follow her back to the herd. It was no good. The cow wouldn't listen to Cassidy either. Then Ranger ran up. looking tougher than saddle leather. When he barked, that spotted cow moved. Poor Cassidy. She didn't have the heart to be so rough and tough. Before long, the herd was gathered. The cows were calm. Big raindrops were falling. Cassidy kicked at a rock and sighed. She hadn't been a lick of help. Suddenly the quiet broke. Cassidy's ears perked up at someone sounding mighty upset. My baby, a brown cow cried. Somebody find my baby. The brown cow tried to break away from the herd, but the big black horse turned her right back. The brown cow mooed like her heart was breaking. Cassidy could tell there was no time to dilly-dally.
I better do something lickety-split.
Cassidy took off the way the cow had gone. Ranger chased after her. She was heading for the river. So fast, she nearly sailed over the bank into the water. Ranger stopped short beside her. Cassidy sniffed the wind. She turned her ears toward a sound. Then she saw something. It was a brown calf all alone out in the river. It looked scared and helpless. Ranger saw the calf too and barked, but the little cow was frightened. Let me try, said Cassidy. Now maybe Cassidy couldn't move big cows, but she knew just how to handle a little calf. She waded into the water slowly. The calf watched her, but didn't move away. When Cassidy reached the calf, she nuzzled it and spoke to it softly. In no time, the calf was relaxed and let Cassidy guide it to shore. That little pony had done it.
I really did, didn't I?
Cassidy led the calf back up the bank to its mama. The cowboys looked mighty surprised to see the little pony bringing in a calf. My baby, said the brown cow. Oh, thank you, thank you. Ranger grinned at Cassidy. Way to use your good horse sense.
I think you mean pony sense.
Cassidy, Ranger, and the cowboys brought the herd home. The rain slowed down and then stopped. Cassidy spotted a girl on the fence and ran to her. The girl stroked Cassidy's nose. Are the cattle all in? The girl asked a passing cowboy. Yes, miss. Every last one, thanks to this little pony. The cowboy shut the gate and sauntered off, singing a lonesome cowboy song. Cassidy had a hankering to join in.
Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
The clouds parted and a big silver moon peeked through, lighting up Curly Q Ranch. Cassidy's girl hugged her and whispered the words she always said. Cassidy, you're the best pony ever.
I hope you like that story, Aditi. Good night and sweet dreams, darling. Good night, Cassidy.